So I'm walking around, I'm seeing that, we have some small cracks in our siding, which these are the joints. Sometimes with the cold they separate. It doesn't always mean that there's a foundation problem. Right here, there's a small crack from top to bottom. It's minute, it's a very small crack. Now our gap is increased to about 3/16 right here in our siding. So part of the process of when we're checking your foundation or checking a foundation, this is a vacant home that we're inspecting right now. But what I always do is I go inside, I set my machine up, pull it out, let it sit there, let it acclimate. Then I take a walk all the way around the house. And what I'm looking for is movement. Do I see anything that's odd? Anything that is showing me that the house is moving or something's going on? And I just wanted to point out a couple things that I'm noticing on this house. Now, I have not shot elevations on this house. This is all visual. So I'm walking around, I'm seeing that, we have some small cracks in our siding, which these are the joints. Sometimes with the cold they separate. It doesn't always mean that there's a foundation problem. I keep walking and I'm just checking stuff out. I'm looking at different stuff, different areas where I see small cracks. And then right here, there's a small crack from top to bottom. It's minute, it's a very small crack. But again, I'm just looking at things. Whenever I go inside and start taking elevations, I'm putting that whole picture together. I'm saying, okay, outside there's a crack right here. Inside, it's an inch low. So that tells me, obviously, there's movement. So we'll notate this in our mind. Okay, there's a crack right here. And I'm just walking around looking at stuff. And I could tell you one thing with this house, the biggest problem with most houses is drainage. So right here, the soil has receded, so any water is going to get down underneath this foundation. We want to get that addressed, obviously. And you can see right here, the siding's open, and you actually have about an 1/8 inch gap in these sidings. So now it's starting to get to where, okay, something's going on, something is definitely moving. Doesn't mean it needs foundation work at this point, but we actually have signs of movement. As you come a little further down, now our gap is increased to about 3/16 right here in our siding. So obviously there's some movement going on. Does not mean this house needs foundation work. When we go inside and shoot elevations, that's going to determine everything. But I like to get a visual all the way around the house so I know what I'm working with. When I go inside, I already know what the outside looks like. I already have a picture in my mind of what's going on with the house, right? So it all puts it all together. Not every house is going to be perfect. Sometimes the siding was installed this way. Sometimes it's just because it's cold here in San Antonio right now. You have a little shrinkage, So you have to think about all that. That does not mean, don't let someone come to your house and say, oh yeah, your siding's open, you need foundation work. That's absolutely not true. So this is just part of the process.